Let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut?
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Gut Check 2X, back with Gut Check Big Lip. For today, Big Lip has a little bit of an agenda that he wanted to get through, but mostly we're going to be talking about the first round and overall draft. We'll maybe get to more of the later rounds in another episode, but Big Lip, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, we're just going to go down PFF's first 32 picks and kind of talk about what each team did good, what each team could have done better, and just our general thoughts. So, to no one's surprise, with the first pick, we got Caleb Williams, Rob's, or 2 times number 4 quarterback. My number 1. You have any changes to this pick? He's got Odunze now. Bears had a good first round.
No real changes. I thought the Bears did a good job drafting overall, which is not, you can't say that too often for them. So I think the Bears have set themselves up to have a little bit of success. But I won't change my thoughts on him until I truly get to see him play. So I will say I'm a little bit, in terms of how my idea of him is going to come out, I'm a little bit more worried because of how they built around him, but time will tell. So that's all I have to say.
I only really like their first round. They kind of fumbled the rest of the draft, in my opinion. But I did enjoy a couple things after the draft. We got Caleb Williams here with the little bear paw thing. I guess the Bears finally have a hand sign or something. And if you watch this interview, he kind of did like the "Go Bears" in like a very flamboyant, little fruity voice. And this is my first topic of this podcast. He's kind of got the zest factor, I feel like. Some athletes, not all elite athletes, but some elite athletes, they kind of got the zest factor. Him, Gervonta Davis, hella zesty. Steph Curry and Nikola Jokic kind of got that zest factor with the way they just like waddle around out there. So I feel like I'm a little higher on him now than other people just because I kind of dig that zest factor. What are your thoughts on that? Or you never really thought about it?
I guess it's never really crossed my mind, but to our viewers out there, if you would like a full zest factor breakdown, we can have one episode where Neil just goes into the zest factor, and I'll kind of sit and listen in because I'm curious to hear more about it maybe in the future if the viewers like it.
Yeah, this is like a full gut check, like new like athletic type now. So if you want to hear more, I'll do like a full-on presentation with the slideshow. Just let me know in the comments. If you think I'm stupid, let me know in the comments. All right. Number 2, we got 2 times number 1 wide receiver off the board. Oh my God, this ain't even the list. This isn't even the draft. Oh, it is. No, it's not.
It's their ranking of the draft picks, you bum.
Oh, all right, let me quickly find the draft.
This is going so well,
dude. No, it's fine. Keep this in. All right, here we go. This is a little bit better, guys. I'm sorry. All right, we got Caleb Williams first. Am I good? All right. With the second pick, the Washington Commanders take Jaden Daniels. we got Caleb Williams first. Okay. All right, we got Jaden Daniels. Not much to say here. You got any thoughts?
I guess my only question is, what is his zest factor score?
No, he's not. He doesn't have the zest factor. That's all. He doesn't.
But is there a range for you? I mean, you came up with this, so I just want to know if there's a range.
This is like the only trait. You either got it or you don't.
Okay.
Like,
I guess in terms of Jaden Daniels, for me, going off of a more normal analysis, if they can keep him healthy in terms of protecting him, I think he'll have a good shot. Terry McLaurin, I like him as a receiver, so I think they could have a really good connection. But I don't think there's too much more to say. Again, it's about seeing what actually happens on the field. But the Washington Commanders are going to have to figure out how to protect him.
Amen. All right, we got Drake May. I don't have much to say about Drake May, to be honest. Just rest in peace.
Cooked.
Let's take a moment of silence for my boy Javon Baker. My number 5, my guy, my receiver. You are in wide receiver purgatory, my friend.
If Drake May
All right.
makes it out of New England with a good career, I'll give him a lot of props.
If he puts any numbers up, it's going to be because of Javon Baker. All right, your number 1 wide receiver goes to Kyler Murray.
This is my guy. I think him and Kyler could maybe turn back the clocks a little and resurrect Kyler's career a little. Obviously, it depends on if they have that stipulation in his contract that he has to turn his console off early in the night. But Marvin Harrison Jr. would have liked him to go maybe to the Chargers or elsewhere, but I think he'll do fine. I think it'll be okay.
It's good. Do you think he's going to be like the next Larry Fitzgerald or no?
I don't think he's going to be as productive early on in his career as Larry, but later on, if he stays healthy and everything, I think he'll have a good career.
All right. Oh, another bad one. If Malik Neighbors went at 5 to the Chargers, that would have been so sick. But instead, Harbaugh took what she calls weapons. Offensive linemen are weapons to him. He took Joe Alt, took it pretty safe. I mean, you're got to protect Justin Herbert, but you're missing out on Flash.
Yeah, I'm not sure they needed to go with Mr. Joe Alt, but obviously he's widely regarded as the best tackle in the draft. So overall, good pick, and the fact that they got my guy Ladd later in the early in the second, I think turned out well for them. I think Ladd and Herbo are going to have a great connection.
I feel like now with Ladd going here without any wide receiver room, with like Harbaugh style of offense, he might be the most producing rookie wide receiver.
I agree. I genuinely think, I know we talked about this on the last pod where you don't like that people are comparing him to Cooper Kupp, but I think they're going to try to replicate the Stafford Kupp type of QB wide receiver relationship where he just becomes completely his go-to and forget about Quentin Johnson. That dude couldn't catch a cold if he...
I'm just going to say, I'm going to put it out here. They took like another receiver in the 6th round, I think, later rounds, day 3. Brendan Rice, the son of Jerry Rice. Just keep an eye out for that. You might have the next Jerry Rice with Justin
Brendan
Herbert.
Rice thought he was going in the first 3 rounds.
I
don't know if he's the brightest tool, the sharpest tool in the box.
That's who he believes he is. You know, he thinks mentally he's the first round pick in his own head. So he has
you were dogging him before the draft.
Yeah, because he's slow as shit. Okay, next we got Malik Neighbors. Let's take another 5-second moment of silence for our guy Malik.
Cooked, gone.
I mean, there's one output of success, or there's 2. One is he somehow produces with Daniel Jones. That just shows you how good he is. So that's going to make me look great. Or 2, Daniel Jones is so bad, so awful, he gets hurt, and Joe Milton comes in, who the Giants drafted, and him and Malik just have a freaking touchdown fest of just 80-yard bombs all day.
I think in either situation, cooked. Malik Neighbors, your career is over, unfortunately. I wish you the best of luck. Hope you get a trade in year 4.
How much money do you think he's making? 20 is it 20 million for the 6th overall? Something that?
Caleb Williams is like 40 million-ish, so he's probably like 25, 20.
Just rest your knees for your second contract. JC Latham, boring. All right, great. Titans went O-line. All right, this is where we get a little refrigerated with our drafting with Michael Penix Jr. at number 8. Now, I do have some stake in this because I am a Packer fan, and I went through a similar kind of thing with Jordan Love being drafted. And I get it. Everyone wants to be the Packers now. We want to draft Jordan Love, and we want to have to sit the rookie for 3 years.
The Packers or the Chiefs? I think everyone wants to be the Chiefs.
Nah, the Packers. Okay, fine. The Chiefs essentially copied Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and then we just repeat it every 20 years. But I don't think correct me if I'm wrong. If the Falcons want to go quarterback, if they took JJ McCarthy at 8, I don't think the backlash and the stupidity would have been like as bad.
Agreed.
Is that bad? Okay.
Agreed. I mean, you're talking about, obviously now everyone's saying, oh, they're going to stick with Kirk for 2 years and then move on to Penix after that. But, I mean, Kirk, what, $180 million over 4, was it?
Yeah.
Something like that. If Kirk produces 2 more seasons like he has in Minnesota, there's no way you're stopping that to go to a guy that hasn't proven himself in the league. Like, you're definitely playing him in year 3. At that point, Michael Penix Jr. might start as a 28-year-old. And I know you can play a lot longer these days, but starting as a 28-year-old in the NFL, I'm not quite sure on that.
And the thing with like Jordan Love or JJ McCarthy in this case is like they're not good right now, but they're just all traits. Like JJ McCarthy has a cannon of an arm, but didn't throw much in college. Like,
yep,
you can do like Michael Penix now and Michael Penix in 3 to 4 years won't be that different. Whereas JJ McCarthy could be. Okay, yeah. Also,
not to mention that I don't think their second pick was all that great either.
Yeah, and I think they traded up for that second pick. I don't know.
Yeah.
Correct me. And then I think their GM made this pick as well because he just wants to keep his job for a couple more years. That's just a thought that came into my head. I don't know why, but.
Well, did you see the memes of him like talking to the owner?
Yeah.
And, like, trust me, this is like, oh, okay. Just trying to be the smartest guy in the room when it was one of the dumbest picks I've seen.
Yeah, and then the second, yeah, you're right. The Ororo pick was even more crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
All right, we got one through Roma Dunze. In terms of fantasy football, I'm curious if he's gonna have like a JSN year or he's gonna actually be like maybe just a high producing slot. Don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure on him. In terms of fantasy football, I'd probably stay away. I just don't know which wide receiver is going to get the brunt of the work from Caleb Williams, so I'd probably stay away from most of the receivers on the Bears just because if Roma Dunze is what people think, they're going to have 3 really good wide receivers to choose from.
Yeah. Here we go. The Vikings are all over the board, in my opinion, on Thursday. I think they have 3 picks next year. Like, they have, like, no draft capital left.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean...
And a lot of that was spent on the Dallas Turner pick, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I just don't get it. Like, we bashed on the freaking Falcons GM, but Queasy, we're going to do an NFC North video soon, but I think Queasy is just highly overrated in terms of asset management. Like, if you're going to take a quarterback where you were originally going to take a quarterback, you didn't have to like get a second first round pick and lose so many picks in the process.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big riverboat gamble from Kwesi, so we'll see how it turns out. I personally don't think they should start JJ. I think they need to sit him for a year. I have a bad feeling that they are going to start him, and if that happens, I worry a little bit for my second overall quarterback that I projected. I worry that, if his confidence gets shaken, oh boy, it's tough to get that back in the NFL.
If his confidence gets shaken, he'll just brush his teeth with his other hand again. That's how he resets himself.
I forgot about that.
I worry more about Justin Jefferson as well in this case. It's like, dude's so good, but if you have JJ McCarthy and who's the Stanford quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, those two throwing him the ball, I just feel bad for him.
My projection for this year, Sam Darnold has a small resurrection in his career.
Yeah. I like that. All right, Jets. As an Aaron Rodgers fan, I really wanted Brock Bowers here, but I understand you got to protect Aaron Rodgers, and you have two 33-year-old tackles starting right now. And as a Dallas Cowboys fan, I think you know that Tyron Smith barely plays has a healthy season, so not much here. Funny enough, if you tune into my Twitter, a lot of Jets fans got mad at me the other day because I said, or not the other day, this morning, because I said their third-round pick, Malachi Corley, is a glorified running back. So tune into our Twitter, guys. We'll
at
link it down below.
Sports_.
Yes, sir. All right. I called it like a month ago. not too surprised. Bo Nix to the Broncos. Just looks like a hardworking Sean Payton quarterback. God-fearing.
The he does look like a good God-fearing boy. But just to be clear, the Denver Broncos QB room is Bo Nix, Jared Stidham. Who else?
Zach Wilson.
Zach. Yeah. I mean, if there was a team I think I could play QB for in the NFL, it would be that team. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm low on Bo Nix. Obviously, the other two, they're just suck. But I don't know. He got his boy Troy Franklin coming in, so maybe he has a little confidence. He doesn't really have to worry about starting. He's going to start. The other two suck. So we'll see. Sean Payton said he's special. I don't know if it's also a good type of special. So
kudos to us for being like one of the only like draft analysis to leave Troy Franklin out of their top 5 or top 8, and he went in the 4th round, lockstep. Exactly. If he turns out good, whatever. But
yeah, for now.
Also, you playing football, it reminded me because you were a really good punter in high school too, just triple threat. How do you feel about the Bears drafting an Iowa punter in the 4th round?
Oh, I'm stoked. He'll probably get a lot of opportunities to punt, so it should just help his career. Torrey Taylor, he's my guy. I watched him way too much as an Iowa fan, but he's a beauty. So Bears got a good one.
Nice. This one hurt me a little bit, the Brock Bowers to the Raiders, just because I am a Michael Mayer owner in my Dynasty Football League. So, and I was picking 4th, so I was in Brock Bowers territory. So this one stung a little bit.
This goes back to what you were saying about GMs have no clue what they're doing.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Take 2 straight back-to-back years of first-round tight ends.
Mayer was a first-round tight end, but they took him in the 2nd. But
okay, still, I don't know. That's what do you think about that? Because that's ridiculous to me.
Okay, if I'm gonna galaxy brain as a GM, I'm thinking, oh, we got the next Gronk and Hernandez, with Mayer being Gronk and Brock Bowers being Aaron Hernandez. Like, that's the only vision, but I mean, cool, have that vision, but you have Gardner Minshew and or Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball to them. Like, okay, fine, good luck. Also, I kind of like Aiden. I kind of like Aiden O'Connell.
He needs polishing. He could be okay, but
all right, 14, Talise Fuaga. Okay, great pick here.
Boring, good pick, but boring.
But more importantly, Spencer Rattler got drafted to the Saints. And at first I thought maybe the Giants draft him, but then I'm like, the Saints took me by surprise. But I think this is the perfect landing spot for my boy. First of all, offensive line, pretty decent, middle of the pack. They got Chris Olave, maybe Michael Thomas. They got A.T. Perry and then Burner. I can't remember his name. But he's got a good cast of characters. And Derek Carr, who the team seems to hate. Like, he was the center. I remember last year their center was about to kill him for some reason. I think he's 18 check down pass game to Alvin Kamara away from losing the starting job. And Spencer Rattler is going to shock the world.
That's really? So you think it's going to happen this year?
If the Saints really suck at the beginning of the year and like their season's over, they're going to start Spencer Rattler. The traits are too much. But as much as I still love Spencer Rattler, I've liked him for 6 years. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
There is one analyst who likes him a lot, and now I'm doubting myself. RG3 has been going on a Spencer Rattler rampage. And I'm just like, fuck. If RG3 likes him, I don't know. But I'm going to stick with it. I still like him.
I wanted Spencer Rattler to land in a place that was maybe he would have a better shot at competing right away. Because I think he is a guy that needs to be in that competitive mode in order to get him, going a little bit. So
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
He's like the opposite of Dak Prescott, personality-wise.
Yeah, unfortunately there. I can't disagree. Anyways, moving on.
All right. I don't really care about this pick. Great. Saint Colts got a
Yeah. If he's
defender.
healthy, it's a good pick. If he's not healthy, bad pick.
Byron Murphy, the next Aaron Donald, as some say, on the
He
Seahawks.
had the most lit draft party I've ever seen. I don't know if you saw the video of that.
I didn't see it. Let's see.
His draft party, that's like a party I would just go to on a normal Saturday night. That was something. They were getting lit after he got drafted.
It wasn't like James Cook's draft party where he was
Not at all. Look at that. Everyone around him. But if you find a video that they're just busting some music and everyone's going hard, it's pretty good. You gotta watch that at some point.
That could have been us if we didn't get injured in high school.
Facts.
Back
to Caleb Williams. But overall, solid pick there. Byron Murphy will be solid.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as a Packer fan, I really like this pick a lot. Dallas Turner is a freak of all freaks.
Mm-hmm.
Him dropping to 17, who is the most freakiest of freak edges. He must be just an awful interviewer, or just he must have some character concerns that must have been why he dropped.
A good amount of it had to do with the offensive firepower that was in this draft.
I would if as a betting man, I would never have taken Latu over Dallas Turner.
That's fair.
In the draft, because GMs are horny for these traits they see. All right, the Bengals took Amarius Mims, freakazoid. Even though they're in the same situation as the Jets, they signed 2 tackles, but you gotta protect your injury-prone quarterback.
Agreed. If they polish him up, he'll be good, but he needs some work.
Dude, I know, like, we give like running quarterbacks and guys like those shit for getting injured, but Joe Burrow his bones are made of twigs. I feel like everyone was worried about his Achilles going into the season, and then he just broke his wrist. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him. The Rams are the hidden winners of this draft. Every pick they had was just surgical.
Yeah.
Jared Verse at 19, crazy. Troy Fontenot, the Steelers are also looking very good. With Arthur Smith in the room, if fantasy owners first and goal, shout out, I would draft the Steelers running back this year and next year. They're going to be really good.
Just don't draft any other weapons with Arthur Smith in the room. He likes to go away from them.
What you think about this one? I don't know what to think about Chop to the Dolphins.
I was surprised by it. I didn't think the Dolphins were going to be able to keep their hands off of Mr. Xavier Worthy. I really thought they were going to go against everything that made sense. I like Chop. I think he'll be good. He's got a good motor about him. At least when I watched him, I thought his motor was good. So I like him. I think he'll be fine. I'm not quite sure if he fits in the Dolphins' defensive scheme as much, but I guess we'll see about that. I think he needs to play a little more downhill than the Dolphins typically do, but that's just what I thought.
Yeah, I low-key like Dolphins are funny because like every team has holes and they try to like cover those holes, you know. But the Dolphins are like, what are we good at? And each year, everyone's like, okay, we got to fix this, we got to fix that. Like, nah, we're just going to keep adding on to what we're good at, and the holes are going to get even bigger and bigger and bigger. It's interesting philosophy McDaniels is running there.
And it doesn't seem to be working.
True. Here we go. Somehow the Eagles end up getting Quinyon Mitchell.
Best draft, in my opinion, was the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, their defense is going to be crazy, but Jalen Hurts sucks, so I don't really care. But their team is going to be a lot better.
I mean, they got my top 2 corners.
Yeah,
Mr. Quinyon Mitchell and my boy Cooper DeJean. See, as a Cowboys fan, I'm worried because I genuinely think he might end up picking off Dak 3 times in one game at some point in his career. Hopefully, Dak's not at Dallas for that long, but boy, those were 2 solid picks for right where they needed it. They needed DBs, they got them.
What are your thoughts on Cooper dropping so much?
I thought it was the rest of the NFL's stupid. I don't know how you let that guy get out of the first round, even if he's not like he's just so versatile. He can play nickel, he can play outside, although most people say he won't. He can play safety. He's good in the run game. He's got good ball
Return.
tracking ability. He's just good. He's solid all around. I don't know how you let him drop out of the first round.
All right. This guy, we kind of left out of our list. I don't know if I give him an honorable mention, but shout out to Brian Thomas Jr.'s mom. The ESPN reporter tried to, did you call it race baiting or poor baiting? Or like, they want to do the classic like miracle story of like a poor family.
Yeah,
and the draft is helping
I would
them.
say a little bit of both.
So just check this out.
Sandra, how far has this family come?
We came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
When you think about the journey that you've been on together, what does tonight mean to you?
It means the world. It's amazing. I'm so grateful to God, so happy for him. We are so proud of him.
All right, Terrion Arnold. Obviously,
Go ahead.
you boss. I just said I wanted to say the Lions are just filling in needs, unlike the Dolphins.
I was gonna say the same thing. I honestly thought when the draft was actually happening, I genuinely thought they were gonna end up taking Cooper DeJean because I just thought he's a Dan Campbell guy. But Terrion Arnold, good pick. Not my.
This was a bit rich. I would have preferred Nate Wiggins, who fell to the Ravens, obviously, because Ravens always end up.
Terrion has a higher upside.
No, Nate Wiggins can play on the outside. Like, he's fast. Terrion Arnold cannot play on the outside. He's more of just a slot corner.
Wiggins is a little small though.
He's a little skinny. That's true. And if you've seen his interviews with Nick Saban and stuff, he's just an all-around good dude. So
yeah,
that kind of goes a long way. My Packers, this whole draft by the Packers was just weird. Like last year, every pick was a sexy home run hitter. We got receivers, tight ends everywhere. This year, it was just tackles, linebackers, and safeties. I mean, great. I don't really care. It doesn't move the needle, but I guess when you draft super well last year, I mean, I hated this pick. I wanted, like, in terms of just entertainment, I wanted, like, Jerzon Newton or an edge rusher. I don't know. What do you think? Granted, we shit on you guys last year in the playoffs, but you think we needed some other stuff, or?
I think it's a solid pick. You're trying to just figure out ways to make sure your new franchise QB stays healthy. Can't complain on that.
All right. Graham Barton to the Buccaneers. Todd Bowles is going to run the ball. Whoop-de-doo. You got anything else for this?
No, solid pick. Didn't know he was going to drop that far, but good pick.
Dropped this far? You thought he was going to get taken earlier?
A little bit, yeah.
I saw this video on Twitter where it's like...
Actually, no. What am I saying? I had him going like last in the first round or something. Never mind. Okay. Check that.
All right. So you were in lockstep almost. Okay. Yeah. I saw this video on Twitter. If you guys want to look it up. So when he got drafted, obviously he wasn't invited to the draft, but he literally like had his whole family behind him and just was sitting by himself. And when he got drafted, didn't hug anyone, or he just stood up, put on the hat, and just sat back down. Didn't give a crap about his family or anyone. It was just interesting. He might be a dog. You never know.
It's just Graham Barton's world, and we're living in it.
Exactly. This was... I don't know about this pick. He's a tweener. He's like too big and too unathletic to be an edge, but too small to be a D tackle. I don't think those players pan out well. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree. I was a little confused about this pick. Obviously, they hit the home run ball with Marv to start off. I was hoping for a little more from them to get even more excited about the Cardinals, but not so sure about this one.
I knew it was really weird though. Like the NFL, they did their research this year on like who's probably going to get drafted, so they don't end up with like a Will Levis situation where one dude's just sitting there all alone and your girlfriend breaks up with you after that and stuff. But I was shocked when Darius Robinson was invited to the draft. Like I was like,
yeah,
I'm like, wow, he's going to be taken. Like crazy. Don't know how it works though, but you know.
I still do want to know more about how they know who to invite.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Do they give them
That would be
extra
so
money to tell
embarrassing if you go and you're like Will Levis and you're just sitting there, camera keeps panning to you, and you're just like, no idea what's going on, why you're dropping.
Yeah, shout out to Will Levis. We both hated him last year, and he kind of did okay at the end of the season. He didn't do it's okay. He didn't do great, but he had that one game where he just threw three long
Yeah,
touchdowns.
he popped
So
off. He showed that there's potential.
Yeah. All right. Everyone loves this pick. I went on ESPN the next day, and everyone's like, the Chiefs are going to win it all again. The Chiefs are going to win it all again. I don't think this pick does anything for the Chiefs. I think Xavier Worthy, dude can't catch a cold. He has no hands, second best receiver on his own team. It's not what the Chiefs want, in my opinion. Like, this is another receiver that has drop issues.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they were going to go for a more reliable receiver. Here's where, obviously A.D. Mitchell was still on the board. I was thinking, oh boy, Mahomes and A.D. Mitchell and Travis Kelce, that would be quite something. The other thing I hate, and I really need people to hear this, Xavier Worthy will not be like Tyreek Hill. I don't know why people are saying that.
Dude,
he is nothing like Tyreek Hill at all. He's got top line speed going vertical, but he doesn't have the shiftiness of Tyreek, and he's just not Tyreek Hill. He's not.
Dude, Xavier Worthy is 162 pounds. Tyreek Hill is built like a brick. Like, his neck is like the same length as his shoulders. Like, it's a difference. Like, Tyreek Hill is like 190 and fast. This dude is just more like John Ross and Tyreek, in my opinion.
Yeah. Little better route runner than John Ross, but
yes. Well, okay, with the route running, he has that one red zone clip. They keep everyone's like, look, he knows how to run routes. They show that one clip, and I think what happens is everyone sees it on Twitter, that one clip of him beating someone in the red zone or in the end zone, and then everyone goes, there's more to him than just speed. Everyone's saying that. I'm like, no, I think it's still only speed. All right. This is like, all right, pick 29. This is like the fifth pick I got right when we did our pre-draft. I knew the Cowboys were going to get Tyler Guyton, and they traded back and still got him.
For those who haven't seen our pre-draft analysis, gut check Big Lip hit a lot of these on the nose. He had the Broncos pick. He had this pick and a couple more early on. So go peep that if you haven't watched it. But again, another solid pick by you. Again,
I don't know what this does for the Cowboys, but it just tells me that Jerry Jones must have been just locked in a room the whole draft, because you guys had a pretty smart, slight rebuild draft, and I don't think you would have done that with Jerry if he was.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's finally realizing he's too old to be trying to run shit in Dallas.
Yeah.
Do you see him saying that we're the 24th best team?
Yeah.
24th.
Also, why does your draft room? The Cowboys draft room looks like a Star Wars, like a scene from Star Wars.
Yeah,
like
they put the lights all down low and
Mike McCarthy always looks like he's about to get fired. Whenever I see him, he's always like,
he probably is. He legitimately was at the end of the playoffs. He didn't know he had a job. He's like shocked to still be in that building, I think.
Yeah. And then just like the Eagles, a good player always falls to the Ravens because so many GMs overthink it and they let the second best corner in the draft fall. So
third best.
Third? Okay, fine. Third best. All right. Also, low-key shout out to our honorable mention in the wide receiver podcast. Yours was Keon Coleman, who the Bills would have taken in the first round. One of mine, the best wide receiver in the draft, in my opinion, was Ricky Pearsall, and the 49ers took him. So
yeah, good honorable mention by you, but I don't think he's the best wide receiver. I think Mr. Ladd McConkey is, and
he's gonna be now. Yeah,
he will be now. I mean, Ricky Pearsall's. I mean, he's in a great position in terms of a team, but obviously in terms of full-on production, he's got Ayuk and Debo to split time, Kittle as well. So
I would say, other than the Michael Penix pick, this is probably the most shocking pick of the draft.
Yeah, I agree.
The Niners have a hole in tackle, but Guess
Mm-hmm.
we're going to take Slick Rick. And then more ammunition for good old Bryce Young.
I
You
wonder
like
who
Xavier
made this
Legette?
pick.
True. Oh, did you see the video of David Tepper?
John Tepper. Yeah.
Like, is it David Tepper or John Tepper?
David Tepper. Wait.
Like, I don't know. But
Whatever.
there was like a mom and pop's restaurant, and like they said, please let the GM make the pick. And Tepper goes in and gets mad at the owner, takes his hat off.
Yeah.
Most insecure billionaire on the planet. Do you like Xavier Legette or no?
Not as an NFL receiver. I think he's one of those guys in college that got away with just pure raw athleticism, just being bigger than a lot of the corners he was facing. But then again, he was in a situation where Rattler was under so much pressure all the time that I don't know if you truly got to see him work a route tree as much as some of these other receivers. But I don't know. I thought this was a reach. I thought it's a pretty common Carolina pick where I'm not sure why you would take him over other receivers, but who knows? Maybe it'll work out. Hopefully it works out because I would like to see Bryce Young have a better career, but other than that, cooked.
Yeah, agreed. So this was just like our overview of the draft. We're going to do an NFC North review soon because a lot of our listeners are Vikings fans, so you'll get two-time and big lip on that. And then, listen, guys, if you want a Zest Factor in-depth analysis, just comment and I will deliver.
All right, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you want the Zest Factor, call out Gut Check Big Lip here on Twitter, wherever you want. He'll do it for you guys. He'll run the whole breakdown. For now, I'm Gut Check 2X. He's Gut Check Big Lip. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
We're here for a reason. Don't get that twisted. Okay, we're here for a reason.